What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BC Views and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be discussing slow motion footage while using S&Q mode and comparing that with slow motion footage done in post. S&Q mode, aka slow and quick mode, is a setting found in Sony cameras. Now what this setting allows you to do is record slow motion or time-lapse footage in camera instead of fooling with it in post. Now what you would typically do, let's say for slow motion footage, is record in the proper frame rate, which would be 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. Taking that footage, inserting it into your software and adjusting the speed to make it properly look like it's slow motion. Now for some of you new people to cameras out there, don't take your slow motion footage, record it in 24 frames per second, put it in a 24 frames per second timeline, and think because you slowed it down 2 to 5 times slower, it's gonna look right. It's not gonna look right at all. And believe me, I made this mistake many a times when I was new to cameras. So I'm here to tell you, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, 24 timeline, throw that footage in the timeline, adjust the speed. That's how you get proper slow motion footage. So as I mentioned before, using S&Q mode, you don't have to worry about anything in post-production. Everything is done in camera. Think of your record frame rate as your timeline frame rate. Then look at your frame rate. This is like what your camera's recording in. So in this case, I set it to 60 frames per second. And at the bottom, you actually see how slow it's gonna be. 2.5 slow motion is what it's gonna record in. So what I've done is recorded 2 images, one in S&Q mode and one in normal post-production. Now what I want you to do is tell me which one is S&Q and which one isn't. Do you see a difference? Is one moving slower than the other? Does the resolution look any different? Can you spot it? Does it even matter? You tell me. Now, I'm only giving you 10 seconds to look at this because I really don't want you looking that hard, but I think 10 seconds is long enough to make a determination or a good guess. So do your best, no rush, but again, only 10 seconds. Now the first images you're gonna see, they're both done in 60 frames per second, and the second images you're gonna see, both are done in 120 frames per second. Again, you tell me which one's clearer, which one looks better. If you notice a difference in how slow it is, or if you think one's moving slower than the other, say something. We're all here to learn, we're all here to figure it out. And hey, I'm just here to help the people. So without further ado, check it out. So with the footage you just saw, A being on the left, being on the right, I'm here to tell you that footage A is actually S&Q mode. Yep, that's right. It is not S&Q mode. I was playing with y'all, I was lying. I was just playing, forgive me, Father. Actually, footage A is non-S&Q. Footage B was actually S&Q mode. So let's go on to 120 frames per second and see if you can guess. Okay, so you think you got it? Again, footage A on the left and footage B on the right. But this time I did a little switcheroo. So if you guessed B as the non-S&Q footage, you guessed correctly. And I'm not lying this time, promise. So if you weren't paying attention or you weren't looking that hard, I would like to direct your attention to the corner where the oil is. You can see a bit of a blur. Now I'm pixel peeking here. It's really tough to see. You can see it. You can definitely tell there's more clarity in the bubbles when it comes to the non-S&Q footage versus the S&Q footage. Now, again, this is small. I don't think anybody's gonna see this, especially if you're doing just a quick slow motion montage through the neighborhood or whatever you're doing. I don't think you're gonna notice the difference. Again, we're pixel peeping here, so peeping, did I say peeping? Pixel peeking. So we can definitely see it, but just watching a video, no one's going to press pause, look real deep into your video, and try to point out if it's blurry or not, you know? So I'm just saying, but some people care about stuff like that. So that's it for the video. You guys let me know down in the comments if you'll be using S&Q mode in your projects a little more, or, you know, if not. Well, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Peace.